Episode 7, Season 3 of the Daily Intermission podcast. Nate, we started off the day by getting pulled over by the RCMP on the way to the studio. How we doing, fella?
Not too bad. I thought we were going directly to prison.
I thought so too. He had the cuffs out, and
Yeah.
I thought things were going to get pretty funky.
Well, he's like, license plates expired, cars not inspected, insurance. Greg handed them the old insurance thing from 2017. It was hilarious.
Yeah, for sure. I've got it all. Everything was
it's
good.
all good. It's just the stickers and stuff weren't on.
Yeah, it just wasn't updated, and I just have a pile of stuff in my glove box. Like, I just kind of just put it in there because, to be completely honest, it was my first time ever getting pulled over. So, but interesting scenario on the way to the studio today. But ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to get right into it. It's the pregame show today is brought to you by Manscaped, as it always is. Make sure you go over to manscaped.com, use the code TDI for 20% off free shipping. Keep yourself groomed. It's the best men's grooming kit going right now. It's unbelievable. The amount of tools are very versatile, and get over there and use it, folks.
Yeah, and don't sleep on that ball butter.
Yeah?
And the spray.
I don't think I've used the ball butter yet.
Oh, man. It smells good.
Okay.
It smells real good.
I might have to poke into it here.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Take a peek at it.
You should mention, too, it was the same cop from the story you've told about the bloody foot, right?
Yes, exactly. So if for all the loyal listeners that remember the story that I told about having the girl over to my house and stepping in a wine glass out of the hot tub, and then all the RCMP showed up outside of my house. It was the same guy. It was Dean. He knows my family. I didn't realize until on the way out he said, "Hey, tell your mom I said hi." I thought he was just chirping, but no, he actually knows the family, and he actually used to be a neighbor. So Dean, if you're listening, I appreciate the reduction of the fine, but I don't appreciate the fine. I was just hoping you'd let me off the hook.
Yeah, we got a big court date coming up in December, folks.
Yeah, so we will be vlogging that court date. Nate, just wanted to shout out to everyone in Florida that's dealing with Hurricane Ian. It's one of the worst hurricanes to ever be recorded hitting the United States, and I know it's taking a big toll on the state of Florida, and hopefully everyone, if we have any listeners in the state of Florida, that they're staying safe, and hopefully they can get things back recovered and back on track fairly quickly.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like it's gonna be a pretty bad one rolling in. Eh?
Oh gosh.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Category 4 at one point.
Yeah, it did some serious damage. I was looking at some roads, and like cars were getting washed down the streets. So, obviously, we got hit with Hurricane Fiona, but Fiona definitely did not do as much damage as Ian.
Yeah.
But Nate, on Tuesday, we ended up going into Halifax to Hole 9 Studio, Hole 9 Golf. If you haven't heard of them, go check them out on social media, and they've done a nice job. They've built kind of 2 TrackMan studios in a garage, and they do lessons. And so most of the times when people build studios, they rent them out for golf and to play golf, but these guys are strictly coaches and training and coaching aids, and for the youth in Nova Scotia that are looking to be elite golfers or have a sniff and go play college. It's a great system they've set up, Nate.
Yeah, it is for sure. It's crazy, some of the stuff going on, like how just knew you're like how the left side of your head worked or whatever it was when we were doing the spinning thing.
Yeah,
that stuff was crazy, man.
Yeah, he was getting like our hand-eye coordination, our body coordination, our eyesight, where we favor and different things that we do in the swing. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So we'll post a YouTube video just kind of highlighting, what that looked like. But it was a lot of fun all in all. I enjoyed our trip to Hole 9.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
A shout out to Dalen. Nate, just finally in the pregame show, because we do have a lot of sports to get into, the Chalkboard app, and I can't stress this enough. Like, if you're a sports fan and you're watching sports, whether it's the hockey game on, or if it's on a Sunday and it's NFL, and especially on the primetime games, I find the Thursday night, the Sunday night, and the Monday night, because obviously on Sundays it's pretty mayhem through the afternoon.
Oh yeah.
But during those primetime games, when everybody's watching the same game, the chat is so electric. Every day people are giving out best bets. It is the best community. It's a growing community. It's the best sports group chat going. So make sure you download the Chalkboard app.
Yeah, it's the best, man. There's nothing better than getting in there. Also, it just helps me so much with my betting. I
Absolutely.
mean, mind you, I haven't won a single NFL one yet, so that's easy to say. But I've been trailing directly off my own bets. So I'm going directly to Chalkboard recommendations from here on in. So get the hell in there.
Absolutely.
I also wanted to mention quick before we go in there.
Sure.
To the first quarter. When I had my doctor's appointment the other day,
Yeah.
I had to use the bathroom so bad. So I went in and I saw that it was like a handicap stall, but there wasn't any other options around anywhere. Nightmare, dude.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody
dude.
wheeled in?
No, nobody wheeled in, but I came out and I heard somebody clanking around out there and I was like, shit, man. Like, anyway, I got out there, there's a dude with crutches.
Oh, no.
And I was like, man, I'm sorry.
We've talked about that on past podcasts.
It's brutal.
It's a gamble.
Yeah.
The space is such a luxury, though, when you've got to take a dump.
It's
and
huge.
Oh.
But
it's tough. I mean, that's just tough luck, Nate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
At least it was crutches, you know? It's not like, I guess. But there was another bathroom.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure was empty.
Yeah.
So, like, get in there.
For sure. That's tough. But that's going to conclude the pregame show of episode 7, season 3 of the Daily Intermission podcast. Nate, we're hopping right into the MLB because it's been, we're getting down to crunch time now, 8 games left in the regular season. And obviously the spotlight's been on Aaron Judge. What can this guy do? And he's been on a slump. So I feel bad for all of the sports bettors. There's a few people in the chalkboard that have mentioned that they've been riding. I mean, ever since he hit 60, that they've been, and he went on, a 9-game slump or a 6 to 7 game slump of not hitting a home run. So that's tough. I mean, it was his longest slump of the season without hitting a home run, and people were just diving in on the anytime home run. I hopped on 2 days ago, and then yesterday, and it hit yesterday. So I missed out on one. So pretty much, I made a few bucks. Like the bet canceled out from the night before. But Aaron Judge hits his 61st home run in Toronto. They handle the Blue Jays, and Aaron Judge is looking for 62. I think he might heat up here and go on a little run.
Did you see the guy that missed the catch?
No.
Oh, dude, he had the seat, he had the spot, man. He reached for it, it hit the edge of his glove and bounced down into the dugout. He had it, man.
That is so tough.
As soon as it went, I was just like tracking, and I'm like, oh my god, who's gonna get that? Anyway, he dropped it, gone. Like it's like nobody got it.
Well, Aaron Judge would have got it.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I mean, like no fan. Like
it's almost, there's obviously like the fan to have the souvenir and have an opportunity to make a lot of money, but. It just seems like it was meant to be Aaron Judge's ball, and Aaron Judge will keep that. That's
dude was gutted.
Oh,
they had him on the TV.
He was chatting about it.
No, but like they just like kept like cutting to his frame of him, and he's just up there like, no.
That's a lottery ticket.
Yeah, man.
It's a full-on lottery ticket. But you know what?
There's like already offers of like from some sports memorabilia for like $2 million.
So I think that if the Blue Jays and the Yankees, I think they should pull together and do something for him. Nothing crazy, but I think I would do something, or even Aaron Judge, like if he gets that ball, to do something for him, because I mean that's tough, man.
That'd be a tough one to go home.
Yes, it would.
I had it. Oh man, you'll never. Oh
no,
just
for
forever.
sure.
You're thinking about that.
So Kevin Gossman, pitcher of the Blue Jays, he came out in the media during this Blue Jays and Yankees series, and he was pretty vocal about them using different balls for Aaron Judge, and he was questioning it. And it's like, I didn't really side with Gossman on this. It's like, man, this guy's looking for history, and these balls that he's hitting are very treasured memorabilia. Yeah. You've got to be able to separate them, and Gossman was pretty pissed off about it. He's like, why we got to do this? It's unbelievable.
It's like, dude, he's going for the record.
Yeah.
That's why you got to do it.
For sure.
And it's not like there's some, like, it's not like it's a bouncy ball you're throwing. It's still a baseball.
Exactly, it's just marked. So,
yeah.
But yeah, interesting comments from Gossman on the Blue Jays. 2 nights ago, Nate, we were watching the highlights, and man, so Vladdy hits one. It's a 5-2 game at this point, and he hits one. It looks like it's going.
Yeah.
And he does the big walk out of the box. He's watching it, and it hits the wall. So he starts gunning him. He starts chugging along, rounds first, and he gets thrown out by a good 5 feet at second. It's like, man, that is a tough scene. Bo Bichette makes an error in the shallow outfield. Then he rounds the second, takes all of his body. I don't understand how you can take all your body parts off the bag once you're sliding in.
I know. I was gonna say the boys are having a tough time around second base.
Yes.
As soon as Vladdy was watching that one, I was like, well, if he's gonna push second, he's probably not getting there.
No,
it's not particularly fast.
No.
But the guy is very thin now, though.
Man, he's acrobatic at first base too. He does the splits, man.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
It's insane.
I know.
I've seen Chapman and Bichette throw balls at him that are intentionally on the ground.
Yeah.
Like they'll just rip it at the turf, and he just does these acrobatics.
Just getting him to stretch out.
Yeah,
he gets down, man. It's impressive.
Honestly. It is for sure. I mean, that's certainly not going to last his entire career because there's going to be a groin gone or a quad.
Another, like 3 years. Yeah, that then it's toast.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to think 5 years from now. I mean, he'll be a DH eventually.
Oh my God! Yes. Man.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. Like probably sooner than later.
Absolutely. Tyler Glasnow, Nate, we talked about him last episode, how he's back. He looked good in his start, and the Rays are fired up because now they've got McClanahan and they also have Tyler Glasnow for the playoffs. This is a team, man. The Yankees and Astros, they're going to be rattled if they get the Rays because these guys, they can play, man. They're battle tested. They've got, and they've got great pitching. So the Rays are going to be a handful come the playoffs. But looking at the AL wildcard race right now with the Rays, the Mariners have been on a terrible little slide here. I think they're 2-8 in their last 10. They've fallen back. I mean, the Orioles are only, I think, 3 games back of them. So that's going to be a nice little race here with a few games left. I mean, they're going to have to start piling on some wins and hope the Orioles don't grab a few. And the Jays have a game in hand on the Rays. So I mean, this 2 games up, 1.5 games up. So I mean, this is a race that's going to come down to the wire, and we've got the playoffs just around the corner. But I mean, if you want to watch some meaningful baseball, throw it on now.
Yeah, for sure. This is the time when it's nice to watch.
For sure.
I don't think I watched a game all season hardly, except for now. Like I'm catching them each night because it's nice to watch actually now. But especially with Judge.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was sick.
I'm an inning guy. I'll throw it on in the rotation for a few innings. I'll watch, but I rarely watch a full ball game during the weather. I mean, the summer is obviously very tough with golf and everything going on with the partying and just everything that comes with the freedom of being outside where we live. But yeah, I watch a few innings here.
I usually watch the first 3 or 4 and then turn it off and then get back for like the bottom 7 on.
Yep.
Is what I'll just skip the middle ones.
Just 5 and 6.
It's so long, man. Yeah.
Yep.
It's just jeez. Or even get to 8. It's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Got the juice coming now. But yeah, the Jays need 1 win to clinch a playoff spot. It's pretty much inevitable at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be in. So it's just a matter of who they're going to be playing. I think we've talked about it. We're pretty vocal that we want to see them play the Guardians.
Yes.
Because I think the Yankees and Astros, even the Yankees Jays obviously would be an electric series. But I think that you want to be playing the Guardians.
Yes, you most certainly do. You'd rather see Jays and Yankees like ALCS or something.
Yep, for sure.
If that can even work. On the bracket.
I think so. Yeah, if they were to beat because the Astros would play the lowest seed left. So
the Astros would play.
My mind is kind of a bit of a pretzel thinking about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea. But maybe.
It's
definitely possible.
For sure. Pete Alonso, we talked about him last episode about how he has the record for RBIs in a season for the Mets. He's now the first New York Met to ever have 2 40 home run seasons. It's Pete Alonso, who we talk about as a bit of a milk show, putting on a show, having a great season for the Mets. I mean, obviously he's molding himself into a superstar with everything that goes on with the home run derby and everything like that. So congrats, Pete Alonso.
I initially was looking at this stat and I was like, I'm kind of surprised no one else has done that in Mets history. And then I started like thinking about like who I know that's hit 40 home runs. And I think the only guy that came to mind was Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, absolutely. Did David Wright ever hit 40?
I'm not sure. I can pull it up.
No, it's all good.
I know Beltran 1 year.
Carlos Beltran was a stud, man.
Yeah, he had 41 some year.
Yep.
In like the mid 2000s, I believe. So let me just look here. David Wright.
Remember who was that power hitter? It's not Stanton. It was there was a power hitter that was similar to Stanton, like he kind of suitcased around. He played for the Mets for a bit, but I forget his name.
Jose Reyes.
No, God, no.
That's certainly not a power hitter. No, David Wright's career high is 33.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
still a boatload of bombs.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he was a freak. He might be I wonder who the best Mets player of all time is. I think David Wright's probably in the mix. Most beloved.
Darryl Strawberry play there?
Could have.
I think.
Yep. But the NL's exciting too, Nate. I mean, obviously, we've got the Braves are locked in, the Cardinals are locked in, the Dodgers are locked in. Clearly, But we also have the Brewers, Phillies, and Padres absolutely in a dogfight right now for the last 2 seeds in the wild card, and that's going to be fun to watch as well. I mean, we've got 2 electric wild card races with 8 games left, so the MLB is starting to heat up. We're excited for the content to come, and we've got the playoff preview probably coming on. I would foresee on Tuesday, Nate.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully that molds together. It might be a week from today.
Yeah. There definitely won't be fully set in stone.
No.
So we may as well wait until then rather than speculating.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're excited for the MLB to heat up, folks. We got top October baseball coming, and there's nothing better than October baseball, especially in the MLB. But Nate, we're going to move into quarter 2, and we're going to talk a little bit of NFL.
Yeah.
The NFL has been electric through 3 weeks. It's crazy how it's week 4.
I know.
Week 4 of the NFL, man. I mean, time flies. It's just, you hear it, and the older you get, it seems it goes faster. But 2-8 last week, we didn't talk about it, but in the Miami-Buffalo game, he got hit, and he got up really wobbly in the second quarter, late in the second quarter.
Looking pretty concussy.
He looked concussed. Anyway, he went to the room. He ended up playing the rest of the game. He came out after half and looked pretty good. They said it was due to back issues. But Tua is questionable for tonight, for yesterday night for the listeners. But we got Bengals and Dolphins. Nate, are you leaning towards anything here?
Yeah, I mean, just with him being questionable, obviously something's a little off with him. Like I'm leaning Bengals here.
I'm all over the Bengals, man. I expect them. They're at home. They're wearing their whites, and I think they're going to go on. They're going to ream a few off here.
Yeah, I got right now the spread's coming in at 3.5. So
I'm on it.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's definitely doable. I think they're going to start heating up too.
Yep.
And like, I don't think we've got any perfect season Miami Dolphins here this year.
No, gosh, no. So, I'll be on the Bengals spread, and then I'm going to do a nice, juicy same game parlay for tonight.
Yeah, if my sportsbook would give me any free bets anymore, it's absolute horse shit.
Yeah, even if it doesn't get in there.
Any, yeah, I know, yeah. I will.
But yeah.
It's so much better when you get the free bet.
For sure.
Like when do I throw $10 on a game? Like never.
Yeah, especially
$5 parlays tops.
Yeah, for sure. Especially parlay, $10 is a bit. Yeah. That's so funny. We sound like such peasants.
Oh yeah, someone's definitely on here be like, Jesus, I thought these boys were a little more high rollers. Yeah. Sitting here betting, be like, well, I wouldn't dare go above $7. So what a bunch of pussies.
Yeah,
rather talking sports bets all day on the Chalkboard app, and
they won't even lay down $10.
Guy's got $1 unit.
Yeah, exactly. No, but Mac Jones, Nate, he left the game late in the Patriots game against the Ravens, and it sounds like he's going to miss an extended period of time with a high ankle sprain. So it looks like it's going to be Brian Hoyer for the Patriots, which I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, Brian Hoyer's been a starter in the league. He started for the Browns. He knows the system. He's been there. He obviously was Brady's backup for about 7 years, and now he's Mac Jones' backup. So, I mean, he's an older guy. I mean, he can be serviceable. I don't think he's going to throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, but you know, he's got a good run game with Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris. We'll see what he does, man. I mean, I know a lot of people are on the Packers for Survivor Pool, but
yeah, I'm leaning that way. But like, I'm also just probably gonna go Chargers. I'm not changing my picks. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think it's better luck to just leave them because every time I do that, it screws me. So
for sure. But
I have the Packers coming up though. I think I have Bucks next week, and then I slated in the Packers the week after that.
Yeah. That's awesome that you just went in and just dove in.
Well, the Bucks are playing the Falcons. Week 5. So
yeah,
I'm like, okay,
that's a win
at home.
Yeah,
it's like okay, like, and then week 6 is what is it? The Packers and the Jets.
Oh yeah,
in Green Bay.
Oh,
like
yeah, that's
if I'm still alive, baby, those are my picks
for sure. But just some things that will, just some news that might, worry you about the Chargers. Joey Bosa is going to be out for the foreseeable future with he's just having groin surgery, and that, I mean, hopefully Justin Herbert with those banged up ribs can look a bit better this week. But I think the Chargers is the pick. Neat. I don't foresee them losing to Houston on the road. I still think their defense is serviceable enough to end their offense. Obviously, we haven't seen a big game from Austin Eckler yet. And Herbert, man, this guy's incredible. Even with the banged up ribs, he was making some good throws. So I think another week of rest. Shoot him up with some whatever those painkillers are and let him rock.
There's another guy too on the Chargers who's out for the year with a ruptured biceps. Rashawn. Rashawn Walker, is that?
Could be.
That might
is he
be
defensive or offensive
correct.
player?
I'm not sure. I just saw it like an hour ago.
Well,
I was just thinking about how bad ruptured bicep would be.
That would be tough.
Some of the injuries you hear come out, like,
oh man,
it's like I didn't even know these like torn pecs. Like that's ruptured bicep would be terrible.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, that would be absolutely awful.
I also checked in on just doing some on the Survivor Pool. The last time the Texans and Chargers played, Houston beat them 41-29. This was just last season.
Oh no.
So you hate to see that history.
Yes.
I mean, I would take that with a grain of salt. That stuff generally isn't as important as everyone tries to give the narrative of. But
For sure.
I'll be rolling Chargers.
Nate, just finally before we get into our week 4 game predictions, it's interesting here. The Manning cast every Monday night goes on, and obviously this week was a bit of a snoozer with the 49ers and Denver Broncos, and Russell Wilson hasn't looked particularly great. Actually, some would say he's looked pretty bad.
Some would say.
And so Eli Manning and Peyton were talking, and they had Pat McAfee on, but Eli was like, they should have paid the $235 million to the kicker, the punter, because that's all they're doing. And Russell got asked about it in an interview, and I think that this is the week we see Russell Wilson. They're playing the Raiders. I think this is going to be a shootout, and we see lots of offense. And if Russell Wilson has a bad week this week,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm done.
That's it.
I'm done with him.
Yeah,
I'm done with him in fantasy, and I just don't foresee the Broncos, having a successful season with a guy who's just not balling out like he used to.
It's got to be like the worst situation for fantasy too, because it's like you can't really trade him unless you've got some diehard Broncos fan in the league. So.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a bench guy.
All right, Nate, you want to ream through these games?
Yeah.
You want to bring them up, and we'll talk about them.
Okay, so this one comes up first for me just because of the favorite.
Yeah.
We got Commanders, Cowboys -3 favorite, and I mean, listen, I'm loyal to my squad, but I'm on Cooper Rush this week.
Are you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I think I'm going to ride the Commanders on the road.
Okay.
I just don't foresee.
Yeah, it's the man.
Carson Wentz is going to be under pressure from Micah Parsons for sure, but I think that this is a division game, and I mean the Cowboys, who everyone wrote off, have won back-to-back games without Dak Prescott. I think it might be time for them to take an L.
I was just gonna say, how far they're gonna go 3-1? I mean, it's definitely.
I'm going to ride the Commanders plus, what is it, 3.5?
It's 3.
Plus 3, yeah. I'm going to be on the Commanders plus 3. I think that could change. These are all subject to change, I mind you, but I do like the Commanders at first glance.
I'm going to roll Cowboys, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Secondly, we've got Vikings in New Orleans. Vikings -3.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Vikings here.
Same.
This is the one in London.
Yes.
So it's at a neutral site at Wembley Stadium.
Let me just check. It is I thought it was Tottenham, but maybe it is Wembley. Where is this? It doesn't even say on here. That's absolutely dust.
Okay.
Oh no, yeah, it's Tottenham Hotspur.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be electric.
Oh my god. Place is going to be packed.
Dalvin Cook's dealing with a separated shoulder. I just think that the Vikings are the better team here. Jameis Winston. This is going to be a shootout. I like the over in this game. What's the line at, Nate?
The line is 43.
That will be hammered.
Yeah.
I'm hammering that over.
115 for the over.
Yeah, I'll be on the over there for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm going to be looking at the Vikings at first glance there, Nate. So
yeah. I am as well. Survivor pool here, so pretty clear who I picked, but we've got Chargers, Texans -5.5 for Houston or for LA. Sorry.
Yeah, I like the Chargers here too.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think that if Justin Herbert can, make some progress in his recovery from his rib injury and those things start feeling a bit better, yep, I like the Chargers to win that game.
Really, when you look at it, it's fucking Houston. Like they're dust. We're moving into Chicago against the New York Giants. -3 favorite for the Giants.
What is going on with these Chicago Bears? They just get the dustiest games week after week. Oh man, this is a coin flip. Who is going to be dustier, Danny Dimes or Justin Fields? It's in Chicago?
No, New York.
I'm on the Giants.
I guess New Jersey.
I'm on the football Giants.
Okay.
Yep.
I can't bet again. I bet for the Bears, man. They're like, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
We got Seahawks, Lions -4.5 favorite.
Wow.
Just borderline treason.
I'll take the Seahawks plus 4.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am as well. Yeah. That's yeah. I mean,
I think that should be a rule of thumb. Whenever the Lions are favored, you take you go against it.
Didn't really work out too well in week 2, mind you, but that's against the Commanders. We got the Jaguars, who luckily are out of Florida this week.
Yes.
And are in Philadelphia. -6.5 favorite for the Eagles.
So this is an interesting one here, Nate. Obviously, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, their head coach was Dougie Peterson. Now Dougie Peterson is the head coach in Jacksonville. Nice little revenge game here for Dougie Peterson. Ooh. I still like the Eagles. I'm going to ride with the Eagles until I see them, flawed. Jalen Hurts looks like such a monster. I like them at home to win this game by 4.5.
I'm on that as well.
Yeah.
It's 6.5, but
6.5. Sorry. Yeah.
But I mean, regardless.
What's the over at?
Touchdown. 47.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm definitely taking Eagles.
Yep.
All right, we got Jets Steelers -3.5 Steelers.
The return of Zach Wilson.
I think I'm on the Jets.
Are you?
I think so.
Okay.
Let's see what Zachy's got. I'm going to give him one shot this year.
I'm on the Zach INT, guaranteed, because the secondary in Pittsburgh's pretty good.
Yep.
I like Pittsburgh here. I think that they're going to be ready to rock and roll, and I think that they win this game. I think Mitch Trubisky has an okay game, and they win.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely a fair bet. Okay, we got Browns into Atlanta. Browns -1.5. I'm on Atlanta.
I am as well.
I hate Cleveland.
I'm on Atlanta as well. Marcus Mariota's actually looked pretty good. He's starting to use Kyle Pitts a bit more. He's had Drake London in his sights. Cordell Patterson's I just think I like the Falcons offense, and if they can try to stop the run, I mean Jacoby Brissett, and if they stop the run and hone in on Amari Cooper, I think that this team's beatable. I think that the Falcons can win this at home, Nate. I like it. +1.5.
I like it too. Man, Amari Cooper gets a lot of looks. He was going nuts there the other week on the Thursday nighter.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm on Falcons too. I'm not betting on the Browns for the rest of the year. It's done. I don't care if they're playing like Houston's bench. I'm taking Houston. We got Titans Colts. Colts -3.5 in Indianapolis.
Oh, this is interesting, man. These are the two. These guys have had some good battles. I mean, obviously division rivals. I want to know what Shaq Leonard's doing, but I do like the Colts. I think they're going to gain a little momentum after that win against the Chiefs at home again. Jonathan Taylor is going to have a big game here soon. I like the Colts in this one, Nate.
I too am on the Colts on the Jonathan Taylor's reign as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking for some yard props on this guy.
Yeah.
Pair it with a Zach Wilson interception. We're going to have a heater on Sunday.
Yeah.
Bills Ravens -3 for the Bills in Baltimore.
Oh, man. That's going to be a good game. That's game of the week. That'll be the game to watch.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to ride with the Bills. I like Josh Allen. I think this is going to be quite the shootout. But I mean, obviously Lamar Jackson has been tearing up defenses. I think. Well, actually, you know what? I mean, the Bills' defense is so banged up right now.
Fair.
This one's worth monitoring.
It is. Threes. Hopefully, the line just moves a little bit.
Yeah.
Get it off of the 3.
I'm going to ride the Bills.
Yeah, I am as well.
Yeah.
Cardinals Panthers -1.5 for the Panthers at home.
Oh my goodness, I am all over the Cardinals here.
Yeah, me too.
All over the Cardinals.
Yeah, Baker's a weasel.
Yes.
It's Cardinal Day.
Yeah.
It's Cardinal Day. Okay, we've got 3 left on the Sundays. We got the Broncos in Las Vegas.
The winless Raiders. They're going to get
AFC
one.
West. They're -2.5 favorites.
I'm on it. I like the Raiders to win this game. I think it's going to be a shootout. What's the over?
45.5.
Over 45.5.
Raiders.
Yeah, I'm not as confident with the Raiders as I am the over. I think that there's going to be a lot of offense in this game. I think Russell Wilson's going to be friggin' motivated. He was pissed off about the Eli Manning comment. So, not that should give any extra motivation to a quarterback in the NFL, but I think that he understands now after 3 weeks that he's in the spotlight. I do think that he's going to have a better game, but I think the Raiders, they just need to get on the board.
Yeah, they do. Big time. They're the only team still without a win, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Patriots, Packers. Packers coming in with the biggest spread of the week, -9.5 at home.
Yeah, you see, this is
That's a big. That's a well done spread.
and it's probably going to be. You know what? I like the Packers in this one. Until I see Brian Hoyer play a game, and the Patriots they're just young. They're not as I'm going with the Packers right now. That could change. I got to do some research on this game and see what's going on with the Pats. But yeah,
I think I'm going to go Green Bay as well. And then lastly for the Sunday nighter, absolute heat show, Chiefs Bucks.
Yeah, playing in Minnesota.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, due to the hurricane.
Yeah, due to the hurricane.
Okay.
So
-1.5 favorite for the Chiefs.
I'm on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Brady play well yet, man. No. He has looked his age. Obviously his weapons, he'll have Mike Evans back, but the Chiefs they're going to be pretty pissed off. They should have won that game in Indianapolis. I think they win this game.
Yeah. I'm on Chiefs as well.
Yeah.
And the Monday nighter, We got Rams. We got 49ers in San Fran. -1.5 favorite for San Fran.
That's a joke. I'm on the Rams.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I'm on the Rams. All right, that's the preliminary picks for week 4, folks. So you can find those on the Chalkboard app. We'll get our Operation 272 all set in stone there. You can also watch Sunday morning with Andy Agar, Nate and I, and we'll be talking about each game and going through what our best bets are. But Nate, let's get into the halftime show, and it's percentages.
Yes, it is.
So we're going to give each other narratives in the sports world, and we're going to give how likely it would be with a percent of it happening. I'll start things off, Nate. What are the percent chance that Barry Bonds ends up in the Baseball Hall of Fame?
Man, I gotta say, like 10%.
Okay.
15%. I just feel like it's a big thing in baseball, especially with I feel like if he was going in, he'd be in.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't know if I don't see people getting past it. The whole steroid thing.
How long is your eligibility
thing? That is something I couldn't tell you.
Anyway, it's going to be interesting to watch. I don't mind that 10%. I'd probably be a little bit higher. I'll put it at like 20.
Yeah, like 10, 15. I just don't see it. It'd be cool if it did happen.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
So am I.
Greg, what is the percentage Auston Matthews scores 70 goals this season?
I'll put it at 3%.
Okay.
I don't even think he goes back-to-back 60s. I think the last person to do that was Pavel Bure. That's just such a large mountain to climb. 60 goals in the NHL. I could see him being around that 55 mark this season, but yeah, 70. I'll go low. I'll say 3%. I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into this. I mean, he's got to stay healthy for the entire season.
Yep.
The Leafs have to see the team success that they've been having. Obviously, he's the best goal scorer in the league that we've seen in the past few years. But yeah, I think 70 is just a little high.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about how he ended the year with 51 and 50 or something like that.
Yeah,
or his last 50 games, which is crazy numbers. But
for sure.
I mean, 70 goals is he Teemu Solani?
No, he's certainly not. What are the chances Aaron Judge is juicing?
Man, I'm gonna say again 10-15%.
Okay,
I don't think so.
Yep,
he's just been an absolute monster since the beginning, and I'm trusting someone has done some sort of testing on the guy.
There was some chatter in the chalkboard last night about can you imagine if Rob Manfred was just kind of protecting Judge due to just the entire game of baseball? What would that do to the game of baseball if it came out that Judge was juicing?
Oh man, it'd be a tough thing to recover from.
For sure.
Just with everything, because it would just pretty much get to the point where it's all right, anyone who puts up monster years is just on steroids.
Yes.
Plain and simple. You got the two guys who have hit 70s, McGuire and Bonds.
Yep.
I don't know if they did steroids for sure.
I don't think it's confirmed, is it?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I mean, McGuire, he didn't look like he did steroids.
No. No, his forearms looked like my leg.
Yeah, and I mean, Bonds, he stayed the same build
third leg
since entering the league.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, third leg, yep. So yeah, I'm gonna say I don't think it's very high chances.
Yeah.
No. What is the percentage that the Dodgers win the World Series?
I'll say 40%. I'll say I'll lean the field at 60. They're such a wagon, Nate. I mean, they're just so good top to bottom. They've got a ton of experience, too, in that locker room. I just think that this team is going to be very tough to beat. I mean, they know how to win ball games. And this is a team that's going to be, they're going to be tough to beat. So I'll give them 40%. I'll take the field at 60.
I like that.
And I mean, I think that this is going to be the favorites.
Yeah, they're for sure. This is their highest win season in franchise history, too, 107.
Wow.
And I mean, we ain't done yet.
No, for sure. What are the chances the Colorado Avalanche run it back and win back-to-back Stanley Cups?
Oof. I'm gonna say 30%.
Okay.
I think there's a few minor tweaks with that team.
Gorgiev?
Yeah, I mean, Gorgiev, and who was the other guy they brought in? Oh no, they didn't bring anyone else in. It's Francois or whatever.
Oh, Freddie Francouz?
Yeah, Fran. Or I honestly don't know how to say that guy's name.
Sure.
Francois, Francouz, whatever the hell it is. I don't think the goaltending's good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you've lost a few pieces. Like Nazem Kadri had a monster season last year. That's a big help.
They bring in the shot on goal king.
Yes, yes, they did. Yes, they did. They also lost Burakovsky.
Where'd he go? Seattle?
Yep. He had the OT winner in game 1. That guy gets hot. I don't think it's going to happen, and mainly because I'm on the New York Rangers big time here.
Okay.
I'm on the New York Rangers big time.
What are the chances that the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Is it mine?
Yes, it is yours.
Yeah. What's the percentage the Blue Jays make it to the World Series?
I'll say 10%.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that the Yankees and Astros are going to be a tall task. And even the Guardians are no lock in the first round. I mean, they've been playing really good baseball.
They have the same record.
So it's, I do like the Jays, and I like their future, and I like some of the pillars that they have. But, it's going to be interesting. They're going to need Manoah to be lights out. They're going to need to be Gossman. They're going to need Gossman to be lights out. And just at times they've been shaky. I mean, Manoah's been their best pitcher, but, they're kind of their second and third in their rotation have been, shaky this year. And I'm not sure if their bullpen is strong enough to get it done. So I'll give them a 10% chance to make it to the finals.
Okay. I like that number.
What is the percent chance the Leafs win a playoff round this year?
Jesus. Man, it's just so contingent on who they match up against. Like, even when we were looking at last year when they played Tampa, like, it was like a 110-point team against or 115-point team against a 110-point team. Like, it was just a garbage matchup first round.
For sure.
And, I mean, if they get, like, Boston again... there's just a select, like, it's all about luck really in the NHL playoffs. Like, when you get there, like, you just need that favorable matchup, even that route to get somewhere. So I'm going to say 25%, maybe a little higher. I honestly am a firm believer they got better in the offseason.
Wow.
Yeah, I really do. I love the Calle Yarncroke pickup. Love that guy. He's been great so far in preseason.
Just a depth guy, like 12-goal guy.
Yeah, and I think it's something like that. But I think he could have a better year. I think he could get 20 there. And then I think the goaltending got better there as well. Really, I wasn't sold on Campbell. I think I don't think Matt Murray's good by any stretch, but I think the 1-2 pairing of Murray and Samsonov is better than what they had last year. All in all,
I'm on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I think there's just massive question marks in the goaltending situation. We saw Matt Murray; he hasn't been good for a long time, maybe ever. And
biggest hater of Matt Murray ever.
And also in this market, if you're not playing well, there's more noise than you could ever imagine. The Samsonov, I don't really know much about him, but from what I've heard from you, that he can let in some beach balls.
Oh, he can let in some beach balls. He can also get hot as hell too. He's a strange young goalie.
I don't love the depth on the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're going to be without John Tavares for the first month. I mean, obviously, your top end talent is extremely talented, but I'm not sold. I mean, every single year, I mean, this Atlantic Division, a threat for the Leafs is that they're not going to be able to ream off wins like they were against the Senators and the Red Wings and the Sabres like they used to, man. These teams are getting better as they're whiffing on opportunities to make playoff runs. So, I mean, I'm not sold on this team, doing as much damage as they have in the past. So we'll see, man. It's they've got some serious question marks around them, and I'm looking directly at the goaltending, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay, what is the percentage of Vladdy signs for at least $350 million?
Yeah, I'm pretty high on this, probably 80%. I think he's going to sign like a 12 to 14-year deal in Toronto, and I think that's going to be in that 350, 400 million range. Yep. I think that, he's the face of your franchise. He's had incredible seasons, obviously not as good as last year's this year for Vladdy, but he's still 23 years old. Yep. He's a guy that you pretty much hand a blank check to. So, yeah, I'm pretty high on that.
Okay, I like it.
What are the chances that Brady misses the playoffs?
Oh, I'm gonna say 20%.
Yep.
I think this is a guy you're not gonna write off by any stretch. I mean, yeah, it's been a tough start to the season. I think he's gonna be okay, unless he gets injured or something. Yep. And I think that's the only real way. So that's what I'm gonna put the 20% on. But other than that, I don't see it happening.
I think Tom Brady's dealing with some serious shit right now, man.
For sure,
and I think that things are. I think that things are tough. It's oftentimes tough to leave things, behind in your real life. Separating your life from work. And I think that he's dealing with that right now. And obviously now, last game he was dealing with suspension of Mike Evans. Yeah, one of the best receivers in the league. No Chris Godwin, no Julio Jones. I mean, it's just been a really tough few weeks. And, with everything going on with Giselle or whatever's going on with his family life, I mean, I think that things have just kind of compounded and it's been tough. But I just look at that division, Nate, with the Falcons, Saints, and Panthers. Like, are any of those teams going to make a push to finish ahead of the Bucs for the playoffs? I don't foresee it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a good point you brought up too, because I feel like no one really. Most of the stuff he's getting for flack is just he's been so brutal, he's so old and stuff. It's we know for a fact there's other stuff going on.
Yes,
especially in an age where everyone's pushing mental health and stuff, and it's just everyone just shits on the guy
for sure.
So it's he is probably going through a divorce.
Yes.
So, I mean, like, I'm sure this is his 23rd season in the NFL is not on the top of his mind at every given point.
Yep.
What is the percentage Ovechkin scores 45 goals?
Yeah, I think I was talking on live. I said 42. But I think 45 is definitely gettable. A lot of it's going to come down to health. It sounds like Nick Backstrom's actually making some solid strides into coming back.
Yeah.
I'm actually fairly high on this. I'll say 70%. I think that he's going to be in that 40 range. I don't see him, what's he, 108 goals back, Nate, of Gretzky?
It's got to be pretty close.
I think he's 108
maybe a
goals.
little better than that. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, like, we're looking at like 3 40-goal seasons. I think Ovechkin's got 4 more seasons, and
he'll be playing it out, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's going to get the record, but, which is amazing. But yeah, I think 45 is like right around the ceiling. Like, if he could run it back with 50 goals, that'd be extremely impressive. But I know he's a little bit banged up right now in training camp too.
Yeah. He's usually a little,
he doesn't train too hard in the off season.
I don't believe he trains at all.
No.
He's 112 or 114 off. I can't remember if Gretzky's got 892 or 894.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, he's not like, it's pretty insane to think if he scores 50 this year, he's off by like what, 60 goals?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
He's going to do it.
For sure. What an incredible feat. But yeah, I'll say it's 70% for 45 this year, but that's, I still like, obviously he's the best goal scorer we've ever seen. So, all right, Nate, that's going to conclude the halftime show of percentages. And we are going to head into quarter 3. We're going to talk a little bit of hockey, a little bit of NBA. And we're going to start things off with the NHL preseason. It's alive and well. Obviously, haven't caught too much of the action. A lot of prospects being mixed into games. A lot of teams playing kind of double headers to get a lot of their prospects some experience. But anything stand out to you, Nate, through the first kind of 3-4 days of preseason?
Like when you throw on a game, you're like, oh, cool.
Who's that?
And then you're like, oh, this is absolutely garbage. Just as I mentioned earlier, like Calle Jarnkrok looked good. He had a couple bingos in one of the games. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, of course. Yeah. Preseason. As I haven't watched a whole lot by any stretch. But Seattle looked like a wagon one of the games I checked out. They were playing like somebody, but I think they were playing Calgary, but Calgary was pretty... There's a guy on Toronto too, and I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but it's like, I was talking about him the other night, but it's like this Abachenko or something like that. Some Russian guy. He's like 22. Man, guy looks good. I think they should play him. Cool. Looks sick.
I think that if you think stand to me, I think that Shane Pinto is going to be phenomenal for the Senators, and just that their 2 top lines are going to be lethal. I've also heard that they are really pursuing Jacob Chikrin right now.
The Leafs?
The Sens.
Oh, the Sens.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
Yeah, so that's going to be worth noting. Another thing too, just kind of personally, of like what I've seen from Fabian Lysell and Oscar Steen for the Bruins. A couple of prospects that for Bruins fans to kind of be excited about as we see Marchand and Bergeron fade into the distance. But Nate, some other news in the NHL that the salary cap is projected to jump around $10 million by 2025. So I know that's a few years down the road, but that will be substantial for teams like the Toronto Maple Leafs and teams like the Vegas Golden Knights, who are just pressed against the cap and have to deal with daily manipulation of roster positions to stay under the cap. So that's good news for the NHL.
Yeah, it is for sure. The only brutal thing for Toronto in that situation is that Matthews' deal's done in 2 years. Like, he's going to re-sign. He's probably going to be higher.
Yo, for sure.
So you lose a little bit there. Another guy I just wanted to mention too was on the Canucks, Andrei Kuzmenko, I think you say it is.
Yeah.
He's like 26 years old, from Russia, obviously.
Kind of like the Panarin 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. He had like similar numbers to Panarin in the KHL, came over to the same age, and apparently he's pretty, like, I watched a little bit of him, didn't see anything too wild, but apparently he's supposed to be a stud, so we'll see what happens.
Promising for Canucks fans.
Yeah, I mean,
they're a team that I think could make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
I think that Bruce Boudreau, like, he's just such a good locker room guy. I love Thatcher Demko, and I just think that this team has just underperformed. I mean, you had Brock Besser last year, with the loss of his dad, or a very sick dad. You've had Pettersson not really find his ceiling or anywhere as close to it yet. I like JT Miller, like him a lot. It's just, I think Quinn Hughes is going to get better with time. So I think that this team's got some pieces, some pillars that they can build off of, and yeah, I think that they can win some more games this season. Obviously, who was their coach, Nate, at the beginning of last season was just an
Travis Green.
Yes, it was Travis.
He was there for a while, man.
He was
absolutely dust. But yeah, a good point on bringing up Boudreau there, because I would be interested to see the amount of seasons he's had as a full season coach and miss the playoffs because he gets the offense going in boys.
Yeah.
Like, even he had Anaheim, and they were a wagon.
Yes.
When he went to Minnesota, they were doing well. I could try and say the stat. I don't think he's ever missed the playoffs.
Okay.
I would.
That's unreal.
It's got to be close anyway.
Yeah.
In a full season.
Nate Tavares too. John Tavares is going to miss 3 weeks.
Bleak.
With an oblique injury. But moving into the NBA, Nate, Kevin Durant finally was interviewed and talked about his comments with the Nets and said that, he's going to stay there and that he appreciated the ownership, being transparent with him and said, listen, you're too good of a player. We couldn't get enough in return to trade you. And he said, I understand the type of player I am, and I understand that it's going to be tough to get a package that's going to be fair to get a guy like me.
It's the most humble thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like, I have no idea. It's just like, I like it, I guess. I don't know. It's just so out of left field that someone would say something like that.
For sure. It's they're going to be a content machine as they always are, the Nets.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I give it about a month and it's going to be someone's got one out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. Greg Popovich, awesome comments. He was in his pregame interview or his preseason interview, talking about training camp, and he said, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I wouldn't put any future bets on us to win the championship this year. This team is going to be terrible. I mean, they traded away DeJounte Murray to the Hawks, and I mean, he was pretty much the face of that team last year. It was their all-star, and now, I mean, they're in a full-on tank.
Yeah, I mean, what a thing for a coach to say too, but
yeah, I mean, when you're talking about the biggest legend,
exactly, like he gets away with it. Imagine some like first year coach saying that. It's like, I don't think we have a chance. He immediately canned.
Yes,
yeah. But
no, I'm excited for the NBA, man. The Eastern Conference is going to be so fascinating this year with the Raptors, Celtics, Nets. I mean, that entire Atlantic outside of the Knicks is going to be competitive. I mean, you get the Bucks, you get this Atlanta team who has now brought in some studs. I mean, Charlotte was competitive at times last year. You get the Heat. I mean, there's 10 teams in the East that are going to be, balling and looking good. So I'm excited to watch the NBA.
Yeah.
And we're a few weeks away. But Nate, we're going to move into quarter 4 here quickly. Talk a little bit about the PGA Tour. Talk a little bit about the Live Tour. We got the Sanderson Farms Championship this week, obviously coming off of the President's Cup. We got Sam Burns, who won it last year, looking to go back to back. We got the Gala, who's obviously looking for his first PGA Tour win. We got Christian Bezaden, who we got some players who played last week. Who were you liking this week, Nate?
I am on Thigala.
Yes,
I like.
He's gonna win soon.
Yeah, he is. I like him a lot, man. He's sick. I'm on him. I'm on JT Poston. So we'll see what happens with old JT. He pulled a win not too long ago.
Yep.
So he's relatively hot. And then for my third pick, I took a Stewart Cink Anytime Ace.
Yeah, which is just the ballsiest bet, and I like it. I mean,
I just got this hunch.
Yeah, for sure.
What he had one at the Masters in April, and I was looking at a stat yesterday. He's the only player. This is just hilarious. He's the only player, or maybe not the only player, but he has a hole-in-one in 4 different decades.
So he's an ace machine.
He's an ace machine.
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, he only has 6 career. So
can you imagine?
He spread them out pretty well.
Going up to the field and saying, 70% of you guys have less odds of winning this tournament than this guy does to have a hole-in-one this week.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. The odds were not spectacular.
No. But I'm excited for that. Obviously on the DP World Tour this week is the Alfred Dunhill Championship. Much stronger field. You got Rory. You got a lot of the guys from the President's Cup. So that's going to be an exciting field. I think some of the live guys are in that. But Nate, just kind of finally in the golf world, I wanted to talk about this clown Bryson DeChambeau. I did my best to cheer for Bryson DeChambeau. I liked his innovation with getting bigger and hitting it longer. But this guy is such a coward. He's such a baby. He might be the toughest athlete to support. And now that he's gone to the Live Tour, I can't stand him. If anybody watched the highlights from Chicago, the Live Tour, he got hit by the rope and he pretended like he got stabbed in the stomach. Like, he was unbelievable. He was crying on the floor. And then he posted this cringy video of him diving under. He's at the long drive competition right now. This guy's such a clown, man. I can't stand Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, I was never like a huge fan of him. He's just a weird guy, but it was always funny to watch him just absolutely spray the thing. Like, he could be anywhere out there.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. But yeah,
sure.
it's the video was it was a tough watch.
Yeah. No.
I'll give him a little credit for, he's trying. He's trying to do some content out there.
Yep.
He's just not particularly fantastic at it. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's Bryson DeChambeau.
absolutely. All right, Nate, that's going to conclude quarter four. We're going to move into the fire wagon and dog water. My fire wagon of the week is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge obviously tying the AL record with home runs with he now has the Yankee record, has tied the AL record, and his next home run will be the new AL record for home runs. So Aaron Judge, obviously, congrats, dude, and you're my fire wagon of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably going to take him as well, but I'm going to opt for the Dodgers. Most wins in franchise history, which is pretty impressive. 107, as you stated earlier, not done yet.
Yep.
Job not finished. So we will see what happens with the Dodgers moving on to the playoffs here, but I expect them to have a big postseason, and they are my fire wagon of the week, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Dog water of the week for me is Mac Jones. Mac Jones obviously sprained his ankle late in the game, but he threw 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. He ran one in and grittied in the end zone. I just think that Mac Jones, we need a little bit more from you as a Patriots fan, and you just kind of been a little bit dog water for me lately. So dog water of the week is Mac Jones.
That's fair enough. Big guy's getting some absolute hate here. I think he was my dog water last episode.
Yeah, I think he was.
It was absolutely terrible. I'm trying to think of a dog water here. I'm gonna go with John Tavares.
Yep.
Little oblique strain. Hopefully it's not too long. I do want to see the guy play, but yeah, I'm going to go with him just for the fact I'm not a huge fan of the guy. Not a whole lot of narrative here on this one. But, yeah, we'll see you soon, Johnny, but your dog water still.
All right, folks. We appreciate you guys listening as always. Make sure you're telling your friends about the podcast. Make sure if you have sports friends, get them on the podcast. Give us a 5-star rating on iTunes and Spotify. Make sure you're following us on all social medias. Get in the Chalkboard app.
Yeah, get the hell in there. Get the hell in the Chalkboard app. It's sick.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.